This is the foam ball pit. It measures 47.2 inches across and 13.8 inches high, and this one comes in gray. After spending some time with it, I thought it might be helpful to share what I've noticed so far. When I opened the package, the foam was tightly compressed. It looked flat and uneven at the start. I removed the packaging, placed it on the floor, and gave it time to expand. It did not reach its normal shape right away. Most of the shape returned after about 2 days, but a few areas needed some help. I took off the cover and gently pushed and massaged the foam until the walls looked more even. There was also a noticeable foam smell after I opened it. It was not overwhelming, but I would not use the pit immediately. I left it in a ventilated room for a couple of days. The smell gradually faded and has not been an issue since then. At 47.2 inches across, this pit is larger than several round foam pits I have seen. There is enough space for a toddler to sit, turn around, reach for toys, and move through the balls without feeling boxed in. The 13.8-inch walls are high enough to hold a useful amount of balls, but they are still low enough for a toddler to climb over with help. The size does take up a fair amount of floor space. I measured the play area before setting it up, and I am glad I did. This is not something I would want to move around every day. It works better when it has a regular place in a playroom, bedroom, or open living area. The foam feels soft, but it is not loose or floppy. When I press down on the wall, it bends and slowly returns to shape. It has enough support for my child to lean against it without the whole side collapsing. I still stay close because a foam wall is not a safety barrier. If a child puts enough weight on one side, that side can fold down. The padded bottom makes a noticeable difference on a hard floor. It gives my child a softer place to sit and crawl around. I still placed a non-slip play mat underneath it. The pit can shift a little during active play, especially when a child climbs in and out from the same side. The gray cover has a simple look and does not draw much attention in the room. The fabric feels smooth and comfortable against bare arms and legs. I checked the seams and zipper after several play sessions, and I have not noticed any opening or loose stitching so far. I like that the cover can be removed. Small spills and sticky hands are hard to avoid with toddler products. I wash the cover on a gentle cycle with cool water and let it air dry. I do not put it in the dryer because heat can cause fabric to shrink. Getting the cover back onto the foam takes a little patience, especially around the circular wall, but it becomes easier once I line up the seams. I only spot clean the foam insert. I would not soak it because thick foam can hold moisture for a long time. That could lead to odor or damage. For everyday cleaning, I usually vacuum loose crumbs, wipe the cover, and clean the plastic balls separately. One detail worth checking before buying is whether balls are included with the specific listing. Some foam pits are sold without them. I use around 250 to 300 balls, and that gives the pit a useful play depth without filling it too high. Fewer balls leave more open space, which can work well for a younger child who is still practicing sitting. The balls will escape. That happens during nearly every play session. I find them under chairs, behind furniture, and in other rooms. This is the main daily inconvenience for me. A storage bag or basket helps, but picking them up is still part of using a ball pit. My child uses it for more than sitting in the balls. I hide small soft toys inside and my child searches for them. I also use the balls for simple color matching and gentle throwing games. Reaching, grabbing, and moving through the balls keeps my child active without needing a complicated setup. Compared with a plastic ball pit or a thin pop-up fabric model, this one feels softer and more comfortable. A pop-up pit is much easier to fold and store, though. This foam model keeps its shape better during play, but it also takes up space all the time. I would choose the pop-up type for occasional use or a small apartment. I would choose this foam type when comfort and regular indoor use matter more than storage. Before using it, I was concerned about the wall firmness, cleaning, and the amount of space it would need. The walls have held their shape reasonably well after the initial expansion period. Cleaning has also been manageable because the cover comes off. The space requirement remains something to consider. The listed diameter only tells part of the story because I also need room around it for climbing in and out. I do not treat the pit as a place to leave a child unattended. I keep it away from stairs, cords, heaters, and furniture with sharp corners. I also avoid putting hard toys or food inside. I keep the ball level below my child's chest and adjust the amount based on how comfortably my child can move. This makes the most sense for a family with a toddler, enough indoor floor space, and a place where the pit can stay set up. It can also work for a younger sitter with close adult supervision and a shallow layer of balls. I would not choose it for a very small room or for someone who needs to pack away play equipment after every use. I have enjoyed using it, but I also accept that it creates extra cleanup. The soft walls, padded floor, removable cover, and larger size work well for regular indoor play. The slow expansion, scattered balls, and permanent floor footprint are the main trade-offs. If those trade-offs fit your space and routine, I think this is a reasonable option to consider. Check whether the balls are included, measure the available floor area, and allow a couple of days for the foam to expand before use. If you have any questions about the foam ball pit, leave them in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more honest product reviews. Thank you for watching.